going to be hiking the Cameron Lake Trestle Trail. I will be joined by my friend Alan and his partner Borg and their dog Gertrude. Super excited for this hike, so stay tuned and join me on the adventure. Good morning, guys.
Hello.
You guys excited? So here we are, start of the trail. It's apparently a pretty popular place. There's about 20 vehicles here. Well, maybe 10. It's actually frost on that leaf. So we just started the trail here. It's actually a little chilly. It's like 3 degrees. That's a model EV derailleur. Pretty cool stuff. Want to pee on it or what? What do you figure it is? Some sort of old rail equipment, no doubt.
There's a track under all this brush.
Oh, it's just like a random field. I wonder who mows the lawn here. It's the end of the line. There's a tree growing in the middle of the train tracks. So in the back here is another set of rails. It's completely overgrown. I mean, there's trees growing on it. So here we have a huge rock slide which would have occurred. Probably a continuing problem, so they actually built this down here to shore it up. There's literally a giant pile of these things. This is wild. What is going on here? Wow. Yeah, we found a giant cache of buckets.
Never came back.
Oh, wow. So here we have yet another gigantic pile of train track pieces. Hiking tip 101. Always let someone hike in front of you to get rid of the spiders. All right, so we're coming to one of the first main trestles. This thing's definitely seen better days. It's pretty decrepit, a little sketchy. We're gonna keep on hiking. It's definitely seen better days. Kind of walk cautiously on here. Fuck, one step could be your last. Don't look down! Train! This reminds me of that movie, Stand By Me, when they're crossing the trestle. The kid goes, train! And then they all run. So if the train does come, you stand there. It'd be probably a pretty terrifying experience. We made it. So as we finish crossing these 2 trestles, or trellises as Alan likes to call them, the trail seems to be a lot more overgrown, less traveled from this point. So behind me here is Cameron Lake. This lake has a lot of stuff of local legend. There's actually rumors of underwater caves and caverns that actually connect Cameron Lake to Horn Lake, which is on the backside of this mountain in front of me. There's also a local legend of a train car derailing here back in the 50s or 60s. Apparently the train was carrying a car full of die-cast metal toys which sunk to the bottom of the lake and was never found. I'm not exactly sure if that's true. If anybody knows, you can mention it in the comments. That would be pretty cool. There was also a float plane that went down in this lake, I believe in the 80s. It wasn't found until, I think, the early 2000s. Apparently the pilot was fully preserved because of the coldness and the lack of oxygen in the deep water. There's also the story of the monster in the lake, believe it or not. I actually watched a show, I believe, on, I think, Check 6, one of the local channels. There was two guys in a tin boat with sonar actually looking for the monster. So we just arrived at the giant trestle. It's fucking old and it's rotten and it's fucking sketchy looking.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, I'd say. They don't like heights. I gotta say, that was a little freaky. Whew. Yikes, heart's fluttering a bit. Is it steep? That's the one.
It's the lake monster. Oh wait, that's just Gertie.
The remains of an old outhouse. I'm in a tree. So the hike all said and done, I think it was about 8 kilometers. It didn't really take that long. It took us about 2.5 hours. We stopped a fair bit. So if I'd kept following those train tracks, they'll actually take you to McLean's mill, which is an old heritage sawmill. The day's still young. It's super nice out. We're gonna go check out the mill. All right, so here we are. We've just arrived at McLean's mill. So just a little history of McLean's mill. McLean's mill is a rare surviving example of an early to mid 20th century logging and lumber operation located here in Port Alberni, BC. This mill was initially established in 1925 by Robert Bartlett McLean. The mill was a family-run business. It operated until about 1965, where it has now become a historic site. Pretty cool place. This is where the railway actually ends up, the trail we were hiking earlier today. So let's go exploring and see what we can find here. So I think this mill is probably about 12 acres. It's pretty big. There's about 35 outbuildings. I mean, look at this thing. It's ancient. Not like your modern equipment. Just a couple levers. Look at this bad boy. So here we have another building. This probably would have been a residence at one point. All right, so in front of me here, I think we have an old smithy or blacksmith shop where they would have done all the iron work for the mill's needs. Something I've always been interested in. Let me go check it out. The old furnace. I actually work in a sawmill, a way more modern version. Well, slightly. It's still basically the same principles. So I do know a fair bit about this stuff. I'm not just bullshitting you guys. So here I am, standing with an absolute piece of history. I love this kind of stuff. So this would have been the old boiler. Crazy, it's a lot bigger than it looks. They would have probably fired coal in here or wood. Not exactly sure. So I've saved the best for last. This is the actual heart of the operation, the actual sawmill. It's like taking a step back in time. If you look here, you can actually see remnants of the sawdust from when the mill was last in operation. So this would have been the chip out feed. As lumber is processed, it of course generates sawdust and wood chips. That would be conveyed up this conveyor and probably dumped here into a pile. So for those of you who haven't been here, McLean's mill is located in Port Alberni, my hometown. Really cool place. It's super quiet. It'd be a great place to bring the kids, bring a picnic. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please consider subscribing to my channel. Hit the like button and hit the bell for notifications so you can be informed when I upload future content. Have a great day, guys.